listening to Vet Candy.
Welcome to Vet Candy's Brain Smarts. I'm Caitlin Palmer.
And I'm Clay Palmer, the dynamic duo who argue more about parasite life cycles than whose turn it is to take out the trash.
Today we're playing What's That Diagnosis with our very special guest, who is equal parts veterinary genius and crafting queen.
The woman who can spay a cat and make a matching necklace from its fur.
Please welcome Dr. Hannah Jordan.
Cue applause. Dr. Hannah, here's how it works. We'll give you 10 rapid-fire veterinary questions, get 7 right, and you'll win our grand prize.
Bragging rights. And a dog toy that's been well loved by our office mascot.
Let's get started with our first category. A is for, that's not normal. Round 1, fungal fiascos.
Brazil is dealing with a cat-transmitted fungal outbreak called sporotrichosis. Which of these is not a symptom? A, lesions that look like cat acne. B, spontaneous breakdancing skills. Or C, lymph nodes swelling up like angry grapes.
No, yeah. So B is not a symptom. They are not breakdancing. That is my final answer. Oh my gosh.
That is correct, though honestly, I'd watch a cat breakdance.
The real symptoms are skin lesions and swollen lymph nodes. The fungus might even be evolving due to pollution.
So we're talking about superpowered fungi now. At this rate, I'm expecting them to start holding the universe hostage. True or false? This fungus might be evolving faster because it's eating air pollution.
I want to say, yeah. Why not? We'll go with true.
Yes, that's correct. That is true. Benzene and toluene seem to be like Red Bull for this fungus.
So pollution's not just hurting our lungs, it's turning fungi into supervillains.
We're only this close to The Last of Us.
Don't bring up that world to me. What? So, quick thing about me and fungus. I am acutely afraid of fungus.
As you should be. We should have a healthy respect.
And it is in part, if not largely, due to the cordyceps, which I was well aware of before The Last of Us came out, where my fear was it jumping to humans, and then they made a video game about my worst nightmares, so...
Oh, I can see how that's very trigger-free. My sister apologies for bringing it up. But yes, I remember, like, in our biology classes, them, like, showing the little ants, like, you know, creeping along as zombies, and it was very scarring for me, too. It's been a fear.
Just before it jumped to humans, it had actually made a huge jump because before it was exclusive to insects, and each specific strain of cordyceps only affected one type of insect. But of course, whenever it infected a hive, it 100% killed every individual. So it had a 100% mortality rate. It made a jump from insect to arachnid. And that was the first time that it had found its way into a predator species instead of a prey species. So there was a lot of interest on how it was going to react, because normally it'd make them climb to the top of a stalk to get eaten. That was the easiest way to spread the fungus. But in a predator species, the easiest way to spread the fungus would to be aggressive with it, i.e. your typical zombie, bite, scratch, that kind of thing.
It's got to evolve.
Well, that's horrible. Let's talk about horses. Round 2, horse hacks. Horses have a genetic mutation that helps their endurance. What bizarre thing does it do to their DNA? A, turns stop codons into keep going codons. B, makes their mitochondria do a TikTok dance. Or C, gives them a secret third lung.
I have to say that it's not C. My gut is saying A. I'm going to go with A.
That is correct. Their KEAP1 gene is like hitting fast forward on their stamina.
Evolution definitely played favorites here. And we all know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's the only thing I remember from high school. That and those bitches.
A horse's VO2 max is double that of an elite human athlete. How do we know? A, they made Secretariat run on a treadmill. B, science magic. Or C, every jockey is secretly a sports scientist.
I have to go with A again.
Correct. The answer is A. They actually put horses on treadmills. If only they knew it was the worst spin class ever.
I like science magic. I wish B was the answer.
Too.
That was my, the original gut feeling, but the true gut goes to A.
How do they know? Science magic. And then we move on like it's normal.
Exactly. You could probably answer most questions.
Science magic.
Science magic.
That was the answer I got from practically every faculty, resident, intern that I ask a question in clinics. Like, hey, can you help me with this? Either go Google yourself or just cuz.
Yeah. It just works that way.
Don't question it. Just accept it.
And I'm like, you don't really understand it either. They're like, nah, I don't. I'm like, okay, cool. Perfect.
Round 3. Parasite problems. Dublin Park entrances are hotspots for what disgusting thing? A, dog roundworm eggs. B, abandoned chewing gum sculptures. Or C, the world's saddest street performers.
I feel like these could all be very possible, but I'm definitely going to go with A because I've been experienced with the issue of parasites. I'm going to go with A.
So it has here, it has here, not italicized or in parentheses, but a speaking line. For me, sad trombone sound, correct. The answer is A. The study found roundworm eggs at park entrances and playgrounds.
It's like, womp womp. Correct.
I guess it's correct about a thing that sucks.
That's true. That's why you're not supposed to run outside barefoot. Did your mom ever tell you that?
My mom did not.
In the South, that is a big thing because everyone runs with their feet barefoot. And I still do sometimes, actually. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I am a doctor now. I have to think about these things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get, creatures of my toes. And no, thank you.
You're like, I have been cursed with this knowledge.
Yep.
So yeah, don't eat the dirt at the park or sit on the swings without a towel.
Well, there go my weekend plans. To sit ass cheek out on a public swing set.
It's the only way he can sit.
If you accidentally eat these eggs, you might get A, a free trip to the hospital. B, superpowers. It says not really. I'm omitting that. C, an intense desire to dig holes.
I'm going to say A.
Correct. The answer is A. It can cause serious health issues, and these eggs can live in the soil for years.
Nature's nastiest time capsule.
Although, to be fair, the ride wouldn't be free.
There's nothing saying that I won't get superpowers. They
just may not be, the superpowers that you want.
Right.
There'll be worm-based powers, but worms are kind of cool. Okay, quick aside. I was in a marine biology class, and this is in high school, and the teacher treated it more like an arts and crafts kind of thing. We didn't really do anything marine biology based, but I was really into things like that. So I took marine biology. The teacher was a teacher named Miss McCormick, and I gave her just the worst hell.
You did.
I was really bad in high school, and not in a way like I didn't necessarily break rules or get teachers angry at me, but I would push them as far as they would let me push them.
You were cheeky. You weren't bad.
Overall, I think my teachers liked me, except for
harm.
2 teachers total. Miss McCormick had us do a thing where she wanted us to create an animal using 3 separate, I think it was genuses.
Maybe, I don't know.
So it was just different enough, but not wildly different. And once we had done this, we had to make a little paper craft of what this animal would look like and color it, right? This is for a test average. This is for a test grade. This is the kind of class this is what I'm talking about. So I couldn't be normal. I had to do my thing. And I was like, well, I'm going to find the most similar creatures that I can. And I end up picking 3 types of worms. I think it was roundworm, tapeworm, and flatworm. but they were all related enough that it fit within those parameters, but different enough that, I could say there were 3 different types of animal. So I had, originally my idea was to make a Cerberus out of these 3 worms. And then I realized that it kind of looked like a dick and balls. So, so I leaned into that.
That's amazing.
And she didn't notice. So
we're going to have to bleep that out.
A surprise to me, everyone's creation gets to get hung from the lights in the classroom. So everyone has all their little monstrous chimeras that they've created. And then there's mine. A penis. And it's in there for about a week. I had to go around and make sure. I was like, look, you can't tell her. It'll ruin her day. Just let it be there. You can laugh about it on the inside.
Like you're doing her a favor.
Yeah,
she didn't notice?
She did not notice until one of my other teachers, Coach Walther, who ran economics, walked in and he looked up and he said, did Clay Palmer make that one? And she said, yeah, he did. How did you know? And he goes, McCormick, it's a penis. So the animals got taken down.
You ruined it for everyone.
We were all given our animals back to keep. I still got my 100 test average. So
that's good. As long as you got the credit. That's amazing, though. I love that story.
He's full of them. Speaking, I wanted to ask you about your crafts. What kind of crafts do you do?
Yeah, so I do a lot. Recently, I've gotten super into like earring making. So one of the ways that like I try to personalize, scrubs can be personalized, but a lot of hospitals, not allowed to wear like the color, like the printed graphic ones,
Right.
And I wanted something that could help me personalize my day. So I wear a lot of funky earrings, like with little animals on them. And like a lot of times, like I see exotics, so I'll try to match like my earrings. If like I know I'm seeing a snake that day, like I'll wear snake earrings or something. But yeah, like I've gotten really into it in the past, couple months. And I think it's really helpful too, because I was either going to go earrings or socks, but earrings are very much removable. So like when I have like a really serious conversation, obviously I don't want like, little goldfish swimming in bags in my ears. So I'm like, you know what? I will take, my things off. So if I'm doing a euthanasia or something, that I should be a little more professional, but it still allows me to bring some of that little funky, like Miss Frizzle vibes into things. So yeah, but I do that. Yep. I love doing that. And then I paint a lot, which I really enjoy. And then pottery. I actually got a potter's wheel a few Christmases ago. But I love pottery. Your teachers are much more, unfortunately, naive than mine. We had a pottery class. I was in advanced pottery. And of course, we were in high school. So everyone tries to make bongs. My teacher was like, on top of it, she was like, she would never fire them. Like she could spot one from a mile away. She was like, I've been in this business for years. You guys cannot catch me. Like no amount of like globoid object is going in that kiln. But yeah, I really love pottery. I really love making, earrings and painting and stuff. It gives a good release from the stresses of the day.
Oh, so true. Are we ready to go for round 4?
Oh yeah.
Round 4, wildlife woes. Bobcats in New York are testing positive for A, bird flu, B, an addiction to bodega chicken, or C, reality TV obsession.
Ooh, I'm going to say A, but they probably got it from B.
The answer is A. H5N1 is making the rounds in mammals. One poor bobcat died with the virus in its brain.
Well, I hate that. On a lighter note, researchers tracked these bobcats with GPS collars.
Because we all know that bobcats are obsessed with getting lost and appearing in reality TV shows. Have you ever heard the sound a bobcat makes?
I want to say yes, but I don't know if it's like the fake like eagle call where it makes that sound or if it's like the real bobcat sound.
So I once heard a bobcat in the wild, and so did my parents, and they went into the woods looking for what they believed to be a screaming infant, because that is exactly what it sounded like. And they were, they're like, certainly nobody just dumped a child in the woods, but, who knows? The world is crazy, right? Luckily, nothing happened. As soon as they saw the bobcat, it saw them, and they all ran in different directions. But, just terrifying how eerily close it sounds to that.
So my first encounter with a snake, my best friend Kelsey, she had a snake and it was just a little ball python and her name was Elizabeth, but they called her Lizarbeth. Like you have to, but it wasn't Elizabeth, it was Lizarbeth. And Lizarbeth was so cool. She would just crawl all over you and do a little blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I had a little rosy boa when I was like 8. He was cool. And then my parents threw a party and one of their friends got drunk and let him out of his cage, and then we never found him again.
That's horrible.
He's probably, we lived right next to a swamp. He's probably fine. Well, maybe not now. It's been a long time, but he probably was fine for a very long time and probably became something I wouldn't want to run into again because I played a lot in those woods. Get killed by my old boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I always wanted a snake until I got bit by a snake. And then I was like, maybe just his patience. Maybe just as...
Was it a venomous snake?
It was not. It was a live bearing snake, but it was not venomous.
Oh, okay.
I get my feelings hurt when I get bit by stuff. I'm like, I love you.
Or when like owners are like, oh, they know who you are. That's why they're upset. I'm like, don't say that. I'm like, wait, my feelings are hurt now. I'm like, they were both anxious.
After the show, we got to show her Squeebs.
Oh, yeah, we got a bearded dragon, and we'll wake her up just for you.
She's very cute. She's sleeping.
Is her name? You said her name is Squeebs? That's amazing. That's an excellent name.
Squeebs, Skweebs.
Yeah, Squeebs the Great and Terrible.
Got her on good old Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, we really did. How did researchers track infected bobcats? A. GPS collars with little bobcat-sized Fitbits. B. Asking nicely. C. Trail cams set to dramatic wildlife documentary mode.
I'm going to say A, just because I don't think the cameras would be a whole lot of helpfulness, and documentary mode is not going to help anyone. I don't even think that's a thing. So I'm going to say A.
Correct. The answer is A. They use GPS collars with mortality sensors to track the bobcats.
Mortality sensors?
That's what it says. I guess so if they decease.
Mortality sensors sounds dystopian and metal.
It sounds really metal. I'm going to start a band called Mortality Sensors. Caitlin Palmer, the Mortality Sensors.
What? Malfunctioning mortality sensors. There's got to be an adjective in there.
Nah. So it's either dedication or a really bad Netflix pitch.
Oh, you're going to read the line? Yeah, I forgot. I just moved that line to the side because I got really hooked on mortality sensors.
Round 5. Random vet facts. What percentage of a house cat's genome is a tiger? A. 95.6%. B. 12%. Just the attitude. Or C. Enough to make your couch regret its life choices.
I love C. I don't think it's C, but I love C. I actually love B too, but I think I'm going to go with A.
Correct. The answer is A. Your furry little murder machine is 95.6% tiger. The other 4.4 is actually attitude.
Just ask any cat and they'll tell you.
You'd be surprised how many people think that a cat skeleton is a tiger. I was doing a outreach thing at our state fair one year, and we had a bunch of these like vet school skeletons because it was right across the street. You know, we're doing outreach and education, and so many people would come up and be like, "Is this a tiger?" And I'm like,
"You're like, it's like a little bit
smaller than a microwave." I'm like, "No, this is like fluffy." They're
95% correct though.
Yeah, I'm like, this is snowball. That's fair. That is fair. They're 95% correct. But I'm like, no, this is like, we don't shrink their skeletons down when they pass.
Maybe it was a little baby.
It was like just a little neonate.
Just a little baby.
Little baby.
I did get to pick up a tiger skull, but it did like crumble in my hands.
That's metal.
That is pretty cool, though. I work at a pet crematory. So sometimes I say things and I forget.
Like, that is so cool.
Actually find a skull, a tiger skull.
But
Why did it crumble?
We pick up from zoos sometimes, so.
Very cool,
We
yeah.
had to cremate a tiger. And after it's cremated, the bones are extremely brittle. So sometimes the skulls will stay intact, but as soon as you touch them, they just like turn to dust. Which is pretty cool to
so
just
cool.
behold.
I love cat skulls. I think cat skulls are so cute, especially their little bitty incisors.
They're very
just-
cute. We had the bug colony that takes flesh off of bones at school.
Oh, the beetles?
Yeah, the beetle colonies
love
for
beetles.
like the entomology club, and so they would recycle skulls and like get them to clean them up. So that was really cool because we got a lot of fresh skeletons, and so we would be able to process them and do all the things with the little beetle colony. I didn't do a whole lot with them because it was pretty gross, but very cool. We'll support their job.
Very cool.
You
though.
don't like beetles?
I think it's the eating of the flesh.
Yeah, that too. And just like, I don't know what it is about people thinking that vets are also entomologists. They're like, oh my God, there's a roach. Someone call Dr. J. No, no. Oh my God, there's a spider. Like, I'll help you move it, but don't call me to come get your bugs. Like, that is not
Here's the
my main
thing.
job.
I do like bugs, and I still hate roaches, so...
Yeah, they are unfortunately the bottom of the food chain in likability. But that's
They
also
suck.
why they live forever. They survive through anything, so they've got that going for them at least.
They don't survive for me. Cats walk like A, camels, B, ballerinas with sore feet, or C, tiny drunk cowboys.
I so want to say an incorrect answer for this one because I love it. Oh my gosh, is it A again? Is it camels?
Correct. The answer is A. It's called a pacing gait. Dogs trot, but cats strut like they're in the desert caravan.
I don't know what this means. Sometimes Jill writes things. I don't know. I'll read it. Behold my kingdom and this sunbeam.
Well, folks, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back after these brief messages.
We'll be right back with more vet candy.
For years, Reconcile has stood by your side to help dogs and their families navigate the challenges of separation anxiety with unwavering reliability. Trusted by veterinary behaviorists and proven in countless cases, it remains the steadfast choice for bringing balance and well-being to the pets who need it the most. When consistency, experience, and trust matter, turn to the veteran of calm, because peace of mind is earned, not claimed. Did you know that Reconcile.com has helpful resources for both veterinarians and pet owners? Be sure to check out the Behavior Bits portal for expert advice from top veterinary behaviorists about common issues like crate training, the importance of enrichment toys, independence training, and much more. Check it out at Reconcile.com. Important safety information. The most common adverse events reported in decreasing order of reported frequency are decreased appetite, depression, lethargy, shaking, shivering, tremor, vomiting, restlessness and anxiety, seizures, aggression, diarrhea, dilated pupils, vocalization, weight loss, panting, confusion, incoordination, and excessive salivation. Reconcile chewable tablets are contraindicated for dogs with a history of seizures or when used with drugs that may cause seizures. Consult your veterinarian for complete safety information or read the package insert. The information, tools, and material presented on this site are provided for informational and educational purposes only. Please consult your veterinarian for an official diagnosis of canine separation anxiety and to learn more about Reconcile. Lightning round, 10 questions of this or that.
Number 1, this or that. Only be able to take cold showers or have to sleep without a blanket every night.
Cold showers all the way.
Oh, same.
2, be able to teleport or read minds.
Ooh, teleport.
Ooh, good one. 3, only be able to use a flip phone or have to carry a boombox for music.
Ooh, flip phone.
4, shower or bath, our second bath-related question.
Shower.
80s or 90s?
Ooh, 90s. I'm a 90s baby.
Board games or video games?
I'm so competitive. I'm going to say board games.
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Ooh, rich and unknown.
Art museum or history museum?
Ooh, I have to go with art.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Pirates or ninjas?
Ooh, pirates.
The classic 90s question.
That is a pretty 90s question.
I quit keeping track of your score because you didn't miss any.
I was going to say, I feel like I did pretty shaky on a lot of them.
You got all 10 questions.
Oh, gee, yay.
That means you win.
Oh my gosh, I won. I can't wait for my, half masticated dog toy.
Your prize is this slightly chewed dog toy and our undying respect.
Thanks for playing. Tune in next week when we discuss why wombats poop cubes.
That is a real thing.
Stay curious and keep those pets weird.
It's Vet Candy.
Vet Candy.
It's Vet Candy Radio.